Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
Welcome to the big show. Oh no, that's wrong. We're 1 week off. What up? My name's Todd.
Still works.
And I'm Obert, and like Todd implied, we're starting our 2-week special tonight.
That's right. Yes.
It's that time of year. The classical piano is playing yet again, or a drum roll. That's probably really easy to edit for Chris.
Yep.
That's right. It's the moment we've all been waiting for. Mr. Oscar 2020.
Nomination Day.
Nomination day. That's it.
This is to give all the attendees the time to walk down our 35-mile red carpet.
That's right. Being stopped along the way by the paparazzi.
Click, 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 click.
And
the sound of a
reporters
camera,
asking
folks.
who they're wearing. That's right. Yeah. So no,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get. We got a little treat for you. We've dug through our archive in the last year, picked out some of our favorite things. But I don't want to get too much into it now because we do have to get through some beer reviews first.
Right. Yeah. We're not gonna leave you high and dry or our mouths high and dry. We're gonna be drinking some beers along the little red carpet walk. So
Yeah.
And I mean, as we told people last week, that there's many bars along this 35 mile an hour 35 mile walk. So strap in, folks, and get ready to drink a lot of beer on your way.
Yeah. But first, we got to talk about the game on Sunday. I just could not believe how it ended.
Right, yeah. It was unbelievable. And I couldn't, the team with the most points was just the better team that day. And that's what you can say. Now they're champions.
Yeah, I was tired of all the political commercials. It's like, I'm here to watch football, not get into arguments with my friends and family about who's going to win in 2020. But
Yes.
I thought it was kind of a boring game for the most part. But then there was like a couple of exciting parts scattered throughout that really, especially when they scored and also that turnover.
Just like every Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
With that incredible halftime performance as well.
Oh, that
by
was
Shakira and J-Lo? It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Honestly, I think they should have just canceled the game and just made the entire thing the should have been the J-Lo and Shakira performance with like a very brief football game in between it. So,
Well, I was really surprised that you were able to get tickets just for the halftime show, Chris. I mean, normally it's like really desirable to get Super Bowl tickets, but somehow you were able to finagle just halftime show tickets.
yeah, well, I like Shakira a lot, and she, I jam out to her music at the gym and things of that nature. So, when she found out she was going to the Super Bowl, she just knew and reached out, and she was like, "Hey, Poppy, come and see me at the Super Bowl."
I thought you had that left shark hookup, but
No. It was straight from Shakira. Now, the thing is, I have beef with J-Lo, so it was a
that
bit
must have been
wishy-washy.
It made it really
their
difficult.
relationship.
Right.
Um,
it was not the greatest, but
Chris, the mental image of you squatting or deadlifting a massive amount of weight and listening to My Hips Don't Lie just cracks me up.
it's actually her first album that I enjoy more so. Well, her first Americanized album, I should say. And I like Suerte, which is Wherever, Whenever, but in Spanish. It's amazing. Such a great song. So it gets you pumped up, though. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
I think
yeah,
I think we should like record a J-Lo cover by Chris of one song for like a certain Patreon tier. I think that would be great.
a J-Lo covering a Shakira song.
Oh, did I say J-Lo? I meant Shakira. Sorry.
Can he have to do the dance too?
Well, maybe that's a higher up tier.
That's a very high tier.
You get the audio cover, and then you get the music video.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to brush up on my Spanish.
So congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl. Now it's time to drink.
Well, here. Yeah. That was, why don't we just get right into it after that?
There we go. Ted, you wanna crack your beer and salute to the Super Bowl champion first?
I will indeed. So to the new Super Bowl champions, I am drinking 3 Floyd's Alpha King Christmas Porter.
Interesting.
And instead of Alpha King, as it's, it should be Alpha King, but obviously Alpha King is their line of beer. This is called Alpha Claus. As you can see, there's a evil Krampus on the front of it.
Ooh, spooky. I've never seen an evil Christmas beer before, but
There it is.
Well, you're about to learn. So this is the bottle reads, Alpha Claus is Alpha King's festive cousin. A big American Christmas porter brewed with English chocolate malt, Mexican sugar, and of course a ton of strange American hops.
Nice.
I wonder if you're going to be able to taste that the sugar is extra Mexican.
As you can see, it's 1,000 million bajillion SRMs.
I honestly can't even see the beer. It just looks like a perfect mirror of your screen. It's that black.
It is just dead of night.
That's awesome.
On the nose, you do get a lot of sweetness, and that's pretty much all I smell. So the beer bottle does not list the ABV of the beer.
Well, maybe it's untapped, then you'll have to add that to your guess in addition to the rating.
Okay, that also works too. So
we're just hoping at this point. We might not have an answer for our listeners, but
so cheers to the champs. Let's get this on.
Right, and just so you guys know, the Super Bowl champions are going to be walking down our 35-mile red carpet. They are invited. So,
I thought they were like standing on the side applauding. Because we really need to fill up the 35 miles.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
They get their own award as they get their own Mr. Oscar as being the Super Bowl champ,
which is even more prestigious than the Lombardi Trophy
or the rings they get. Right.
They'd rather get that 6-foot frozen in carbonite Han Solo statue.
That's right.
That's obviously what they want. All right, so this beer, that's pretty much all I can say about it. It tastes like a porter. I mean, it tastes like if you took a porter and made a porter and put it in a bottle.
Yeah. If it's a very stereotypical example of what you would describe a porter as.
Correct. I mean, it has a little bit of sweetness as a very, very long after effect. Like, my mouth is sweet, but while drinking the beer, I get none of that. I just get porter flavor. It's been out of the fridge for a while, so it's not too cold either to where, some flavors might be hiding in plain sight. I have really nothing to add to this. I mean, it tastes just like a light stout or what we would call a porter.
So I got a question for you.
Sure.
This beer is called Alpha Claus?
Yes.
And Alpha King, is that a different beer that Three Floyds makes?
Yes.
Okay, what does Alpha King taste like?
Alpha King...
Is that a porter? Well, okay, let me back up. Have you had Alpha King before?
I have to check on Tap.
I have.
Okay.
I can say
okay.
that.
Well, here we go. Let's tie in. We got a tag team the review here.
I have had Alpha King. It's a pale ale.
King, Alpha King's a pale ale.
That's okay. With a name like Alpha King, right? I'm imagining it to be very hoppy with a high alpha content. So
right, but
so it's weird that they would make a porter with an alpha in the name. Was kind of where I was wondering.
Well, they did say that there's supposed to be a bunch of hops tossed in here.
Okay. Strange hops, they said.
Yeah, and I don't taste... I mean, I guess there's a little bit of bitterness in the back end after the porter flavor. All right, hang on. I got to reevaluate this. Give me a second.
Like, do you get any bitterness? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, like, what you could possibly be tasting that...
So, yeah, up front, I do get a lot of flavors of porter. Like I said, there's some sweetness in the back end. I guess there's a little bit of bitterness mixed in there, but it's not, like you can't, like, readily pick it out. Oh, that was a bad sip.
This is looking like a 3.0 or worse, really.
I am not liking this beer. So I just burped for the podcast there, and that burp tasted like hops.
Even if Chris might have edited it out, just to be aware that he did. He wants you to know that he did burp.
Well, 'cause that's the only way I really got the hop flavor from it.
On second tasting, going the other way.
Yeah, coming out the other way, it tasted a little like hops. Overall, not a real big fan of this, which is upsetting because I rated Alpha King as a 4.0. So I'm gonna have to rate, and I've had other Three Floyds. I believe is Zombie Dust Three Floyds?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've had Zombie Dust before, which is an amazing pale ale. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 1.
Wow.
Really? Wow, that's pretty bad. Is this an old porter?
It's been in my fridge for a little bit.
Okay.
But
which Christmas is it from?
Right, yeah.
Probably 2018.
Okay.
Potentially 2017. But I'm almost 100% certain it's 2018.
Okay. Well, so you gave it a 1. Not really much else to say about the beer. But what do you think the Untapped-iverse thinks about it?
3.82.
That's like a huge, high rating for a good beer.
For a 1.
I think people love Three Floyds.
So they get a little bit of hot pipe out of this.
Yes. And
Okay.
I can't say what this beer might have tasted like if I had drank it fresh,
Right.
but I have to imagine that it's higher than a 1.
Well,
And for ABV, I'm going to go with 7%.
okay. So it's 6% ABV,
Okay.
and there's only 38 IBUs, which I find surprising considering their description and your description.
Right.
Well, it's surprising that it has any IBUs, given that it's a porter.
Well, yeah. I mean, based on your hop burp, I guess is more what I was talking about. But,
Yeah.
But you were kind of pretty close. You said 3.82.
2.
This comes in at 3.85.
I'm
Very
going
close.
to get this right one day.
Yeah, I mean, we're all throwing darts at this dartboard. Somebody's gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's
Wow.
that's disappointing.
So people think it's a really good beer, and so don't.
Two hours ago, Christine M gave it 2 stars, and she said 2 coffee and too much body for a porter. So
I taste no coffee,
yeah,
0
Maybe-
zip, none.
yeah, maybe it's aged a little too long. Who knows? How about any of that Mexican sugar? Did you get that?
Like I said, I get some sweetness as a real long aftertaste.
But is it like with maracas and like wearing a sombrero, or not really?
Well, I mean, it feels like there's like a
Like, is it
Mexican fire on
like
my tongue.
A fiesta sweetness. All right.
I taste some guacamole.
But no Mexican sugar.
No Mexican sugar. I'm debating going to get another beer. That's how much I don't like this.
Well, it's
beer.
only 6% after your last week's 14.9. I mean, you gotta follow it up with something a little heavier. So make up in volume what you didn't have in alcohol content. But I'm gonna go next this week. I have to bring to the podcast a beer from Kettle House out of Missoula. This is their New England IPA called Shady. It's a big maroon can. Somebody's lying in a hammock on the front. Looks like they're having a good time. Not really fitting with the Montana winter vibe, but they were on 4-pack was on sale at the grocery store. So I figured you should pick some up while it's fresh.
Yeah, why not, right?
Exactly. And I'll kind of start my review here by saying that one of the reasons I reached for this beer is because I have had it before, and of all of the New England IPAs around, this is, in my opinion, my favorite that you can get outside of just like picking up a growler from a brewery. Like favorite non-on-tap IPA or New England IPA.
Some would use that term as canned.
Or bottled or
bottled.
Crowlered or just available like available outside of a brewery.
Mass distributed.
Jugged.
Yeah. But you don't have to be mass distributed. You could just get cans to go at your own brewery. I mean, that's, there's a lot of different stuff here.
Or or just insert distributed as a word.
Yeah. So right on the nose, it isn't super pungent for a New England style. Normally with a beer this hazy,
it looks really good.
Yeah, it's definitely got that nice golden, what is it, straw? Golden straw? Golden straw color.
It looks similar in color to last week's beer.
Yeah. Last week where I had the Rumble from Two Roads. That's right. This is also similarly colored. I'm imagining it's going to taste way different though. But like I said, not much on the aroma scale, but I'm just going to dive right in and evaluate the flavors.
I'm going to guess citrus.
That's a safe one.
Yeah. I get some definite citrus, but compared to my previously hyping up this beer, I think it's a little more muted than I was expecting based on previous times I've had this beer. Not getting a super strong hop punch of that juicy goodness. It's, like I said, more muted, a little subtle. I get, for tropical fruits and citrus, I think I would say I get maybe a little bit of passion fruit would be one I would want to pull out of this. For the citrus profile, definitely more on the lemony, grapefruity side than the orange side.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just, let me pull up the can here. This was canned fairly recently.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how old is it that it's already starting to lose its luster?
This was canned on November 13th. So
it's kind of old.
It's not straight from the canning line, but it's also not from last Christmas. So it shouldn't be that dead of a beer.
It is February now, so I mean, it's been 3 months.
Right. That's true.
And you've been drinking all that New England IPA from actual New England.
That's where I was going to go with this. Is I've had a lot of New England IPAs. I stocked up my suitcase. I brought them back. I've been really enjoying the haze hype over here. So maybe now with the taste of home, this just doesn't pack the same punch it used to. One thing to round this review out, though, I mentioned Kettle House on the podcast before. They have locations in Missoula. Their Missoula North location is right on a train yard. So there's like trains that go right by the brewery. It's kind of a cool old brick building, reminiscent of a New England brewery of being in an old mill building, but it had more of a Western feel to it. They always have some cool experimental stuff on their taps. So if you find yourself in Missoula, this is a good brewery to check out for sure. I just wanted to mention that about the brewery before I give my rating for this beer.
Now, before you give your rating, I have one final question.
Okay, I'm happy to answer it.
So, if you had to choose between this Kettle House IPA and like Sam Adams like New England IPA, what would you choose between?
That's a good comparison beer, because I think at this point, if you like New England IPAs, you've probably had Sam Adams, no matter where you live.
Yeah, because it is nationwide distributed, so.
Yeah. I will say I've only had the Sam Adams from a tap. I haven't had it from a can.
Okay.
So that makes it a little harder. But I would say if you put them both in front of me and you put a blindfold over my eyes, I don't know if I would be able to pick out which is which. So to answer your question, it's a tie.
Okay.
But if like you did a very good job of picking out a equivalent New England IPA. For
Todd
sure.
Cleo strikes again.
You really did. I think I would rate this one. I've probably rated it a 4 in the past, but tasting this exact can, this was only a 3.5 for me.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think the Untapped rating is?
Well, we're in Montana, and they don't really care that much about the New England IPAs. So I'm going to say 3.55.
Oh.
So you're way off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought I got it exactly right.
I know.
On both guesses, though. So you rated this in the past a 4.25.
Okay.
And the Untapped rating out of 1,541 check-ins.
That's not that many.
Yeah, which surprised me as those numbers came out of my mouth. 3.93.
Okay.
So people really dig this.
Yeah.
But I would have thought there'd be more check-ins.
Until he had the real stuff straight from the taps up northeast, I guess. Then he thought it was great. So I can guarantee that I didn't go from a 4.25 to a 3.5 just based on my taste preferences. This is definitely not as good as the one. Fresher can would have been better.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So if you live in Montana, just make the trek up to New England and actually have some real New England IPAs.
I think it's technically down to New England, but
we're gonna. I'm always saying
way over.
Yeah, just keep driving right until you can't drive right no more.
Yeah. I mean, we found out that latitudinally, you're like equivalent with something in Maine.
No, we're at like Montreal.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, at least there's collective arts over there.
That's true.
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Still,
they
not
are
New
pretty
England,
good,
but
still not New England.
But closer. They do a really good New England style IPA.
Yeah. So we've had a 1.0. We've had a beer that got knocked down 0.75 of a point to a 3.5. Chris, can you redeem us tonight?
I think I have just the beer to do it.
Okay.
I'm drinking one of the old faithfuls of craft beer. And this is a North Coast Brewing Company's Old Rasputin.
Oh,
so, nice.
Because it's a big night. We got 35 miles of red carpet, so I needed a bomber. to get us
I'm
down it.
so jealous of your beer choice right now, especially as I'm sitting here staring at this 3/4 full glass going, I don't know if I can finish this.
Yeah. So I just want to point out this is not a barrel aged version. This is just a straight up Old Rasputin. So,
Oh, I don't know if I've ever had that.
I saw it in the grocery store, and it was like really cheap, and I was like, well, I'd be fiscally irresponsible not to get it.
And you thought to yourself, man, I'm so glad I'm not Tud, and I can just buy just capitalize on this deal and take this home with me.
Like I'd have to check my receipt, but I think it was like a bomber was like, I don't know, $6 or $7. Like, it was
Oh, wow.
dirt cheap. So
Hey, Chris, as part of my rule, people can send me beer.
So I have to buy a beer that you can get in Connecticut and then pay $20 to ship it to you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Here's the question, though, Tud. Can you buy beer for other people?
Ooh.
I think I have to make I think I have to say yes, because I already promised that I would send Jen a beer once she sends me beer when she can drink again. And I'm not going to send her. I'm not going to send her old beer. That'd be bad business.
Right.
So much as you expect, another billion SRM beer coming on. Very, very, very dark. On the nose, it smells like a delicious beer. Some chocolate, it's like dark chocolate notes a little bit in there.
So far we have a porter that tastes like a porter and a beer that smells like a delicious beer.
Yep.
And a New England IPA that doesn't taste very New Englandy.
Yeah.
It tastes,
yeah.
So pretty excited. The head was nice, and it's dissipated a little bit now, but it was nice and frothy. Not as staying as my beer last week. Was it last week? Yeah. But I'm excited. I want to get into this one. So
I'm kind of curious to know what you think, because I didn't even know Old Rasputin came in non-barrel aged version.
Maybe they forgot to put it in the barrel. And that's why it was so cheap.
Yeah, this is the rejects.
The defect bottle.
Okay, so it's very, very good beer. If you couldn't tell by the fact that it took me 5 sips to taste it. It starts off. It hits you a little strong with the alcohol throughout the sip. Not terrible. It's only 9%, so you're not talking like one of those 14%ers or anything like that. But you can definitely taste it. It's got some nice sweetness to it, like a dark chocolate, something like that. Some bitterness, like a hefty amount of bitterness, which I enjoy quite a bit. And then it kind of mellows out towards the end, maybe like a slight coffee on the very back end. But just a really solid beer, just an awesome beer. I can see. I've had the barrel aged Rasputin before, and I think I enjoy the extra little bit of the barrel aged flavor. But this is a really, really awesome stout. So it's not a bad beer by any means. I just think I enjoy the bourbon a little bit more.
Nice.
That's fair. Yeah. We've had, I don't know, I guess for our last 10 episodes, we probably had like 6 bourbon barrel aged beers. So we clearly have a preference for them. All 3 of us have done them.
We're going to keep that tradition rolling for a little bit there, boys.
Great.
More Goose Island.
Friends brought you by Goose Island. Yeah.
No, I've got some interesting stuff up my sleeve. Most of it's barrel aged, though.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, we'll get in. We've talked about it last week. We'll get into future weeks, but
clearly, when we try to do things outside the barrel aged version, or I try to do things outside the barrel aged, it falls flat on its face.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm picking up, and this is a little weird, is like it gets a little bit of a sweetness right in the middle. So, the chocolate is probably a little bit of it, but it's almost like a fruity sweetness, like a I don't know.
Like a plum?
Plum. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if plum's right, but I haven't had a plum in a while. So
Tud Cleo just popping out.
Maybe it's more of a prune than a plum.
Could be a prune.
Maybe.
A date?
No, thank you, Ted. I'm married.
Well, you still don't want to go out on a date with me? That seems kind of weird.
Listen, the wives listen to the podcast. They're not supposed to know.
Oh, okay. I'll text you on the side.
Yeah.
But no, definitely like a sweet fruit in there somewhere. So it's really nice. A complex beer. I'm gonna give it a 4 1/4. So
how about a raisin?
I think whatever the fruit is it's wrinkly. It's either a date or a prune, or a raisin. It's definitely wrinkly, though.
Dried apricot.
Yeah.
So I give it a 4 1/4. I know this beer is very highly regarded, so I'm going to say the Untapped Diverse thinks it's a 4.33.
I like your guess. I think that's right where I would be along those lines, too.
Because I think I put barrel-aged Old Rasputin at like 4.5.
Yeah.
Or 4 3/4, depending on. So
Okay. So out of 1,337 check-ins, which isn't a lot, not at all, it was rated a 4.05.
Oh, wow. Okay. So not as high as I thought. But, they just don't know. They don't know what they're missing.
And
They
apparently,
don't appreciate what they're missing.
apparently we just missed Rasputin's birthday.
The guy?
Yeah, the guy. His birthday was January 21st, 2020.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was a couple weeks ago at this point.
Happy belated birthday, Old Rasputin.
Happy birthday, Rasputin.
Oh, man.
Obert is not wishing him a happy birthday. He's
Happy
like, "Screw
birthday,
you."
Rasputin. Sorry, I got distracted by a Rasputin music video, and but I'm back.
He's back now. All right. So it's nominee night in America. We all knew this. We're all properly fueled.
And we've got our tuxedos on with our bow ties and our cummerbunds.
Yep.
We got our running shoes for the whole length of the red carpet.
Right. There's flashing lights and all that stuff, and we just start walking now. So the Super Bowl champions are lined up on the side to cheer us on. But anyways, pretty exciting. We're talking about this a lot, and we're pretty excited to hand out our 6-foot frozen carbonite Han Solos to very deserving people, things, places, us, whatever, whoever deserves them.
Our very favorite nouns.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the nominees this week.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Why don't you explain how it's gonna work?
Okay. Yeah. So what we're gonna do? Each category has 3 nominees nominated by the 3 co-hosts, and we are going to do voting on social media, us 3, and our Patreon page in order to determine who is Mr. Oscar 2020 in each of these categories. So the way it's going to work out is the 3 co-hosts will vote, and so we each get 1 vote. Our patrons are also going to get a vote. So if you are one of the lucky people on our Patreon page, number 1, thank you very much. And number 2, you will be getting your own ballot sheet to fill out. So you go ahead, you fill those out, and your vote is just as equally weighted as the 3 co-hosts. So, you guys help make the pod go. So you deserve to determine who gets the illustrious statue. So not only do we vote and our patrons vote, but Instagram also votes. And how that's going to work is, we released this episode on Thursday, so keep an eye out for polls throughout the weekend. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll have polls up, and they will be for all these categories. And each one of those polls, whoever wins upon Instagram gets an additional vote. So that's basically whenever you see something on Instagram and you're like, oh, I like this thing more than the other, click on it, because that'll help that win. So and then when all is said and done, we tally them all up. We get all of our frozen Han Solos, and we hand them out to a very tired audience after they walk 35 miles. So
now, I still am protesting and saying we should also give out tiny Muppets and trash cans as well.
What?
I'm not getting the reference.
Like
Oscar,
grouchy.
Oh, Oscar the Grouch.
This is a throwback to Mr. Oscar 2019. This is a callback to last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's evolved.
That's true. That was
Oscar.
You're right.
But who did Oscar choose?
Right. Maybe he should get a vote too.
Last year it was just like the best person named Oscar or something.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyways, so let's get started.
Let's get right into it.
Get into the first category that we're going to be looking into, and that is the year's okayest movie. So we've all had handles throughout the year that have been movies, and These are the ones that are either they're okay. They're so we're looking for the most okay movie, and the nominees are Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, The Irishman, and The Invitation. So
very nice.
A lot to think about in that one.
Yep. So our next category is Game of the Year. And again, these are all things we've talked about on the podcast, but we have Pokemon Sword and Shield. I don't know if you're going to be able to guess who nominated that one. We have The Witcher 3 and Obra Dinn, or The Voyage of the Obra Dinn, as our three nominees.
The Witcher 3, by the way, is for the Switch, because somebody's going to say that came out years ago. So,
yep.
Well, we talked about it this year, so
yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, we should preface this is all about things we talked about in the last 365 days. So,
not even just in the calendar 2019 calendar. Nothing from this year. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So during the calendar year 2019. Right. So The Witcher 3 was mentioned then. You may see some other things down the line that also don't have anything to do with 2019, but they were talked about on this podcast then. The next category is going to be the worst handle of the year. Coming in at position number 1 is Bombas Socks. Number 2 is the Masuda Method, a.k.a. shiny hunting.
Pokemon shiny hunting. There you go.
And out of the same episode, the G!! A!! search help feature for searching for things on Google.
Through DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, through DuckDuckGo.
That was a pretty lackluster
I don't know. Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh man. So next category is a pretty highly coveted one, I think. And these are the scariest drinks of 2019.
And just to chime in, I thought I cringed when I looked at this list. Just looking back on some of these drinks, because we've had some beers we've faced your beers throughout the whole year.
Yeah, and so the nominees for this category are, of course, drinks that we've had on Face Your Beer segments throughout the year, just in case there's any need for clarification. So scariest drink 2020, Bud Light Chelada, and we'll throw the Picante version there too. So both. The Aldi brand, which is Vista Bay Coconut Mango Seltzer, and Peppermint Schnapps.
And anybody who would like to hear the Chelada episode, it's called Chelada Don't. Just search for it in your podcast app and go listen to that right now.
Chelada Don't, the devil's favorite beer.
That's right. Speaking of episodes, our next category is Best Episode Title of 2019. We have Oktoberfestapalooza, Bearding Alone with Beards and Bearded Men, a beer podcast, and Corn, Plaid, and Carrie Underwood.
Those are some solid
ones. We have fun with the titles around here.
Yeah, we do good titles.
All right, so the next category is the best handle of the year. Coming in at number 1, a $400 shovel. Number 2 is Det Grunk.
Nice.
And number 3 is Mammoth Wool Socks. I wonder who added that one.
I was gonna say, I appreciate that worst handle and best handle are both socks, but looking back, we gotta have better handles than these three. In the last year, we've told our listeners about 156 different handles. This is the best three we have to show for it. So you know how good these socks have got to be. That's all I'm saying.
No,
you know
how good that shovel's got to be.
That $400 shovel is going strong.
Yeah.
I mean, Det Grunk was a ton of fun. We played that, and Mammoth Wool Socks have changed my feet life. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, we don't want to influence our vote.
No, that's true.
Here,
that's true.
So.
That's true.
Yeah. And I will say, I did buy Det Grunk for Christmas, or got it for Christmas.
Oh,
nice. Awesome. All right. So, next award is Best Segment, and the nominees are Malt Minute from episode Crystal Clear a long time ago.
Hey, everybody.
That was the second favorite voice on the whole podcast. Tud Cleo, of course, from Tud Cleo, The Awakening. And as the aforementioned Cella Don't from Cella Don't, a devil's favorite beer.
All right, now we're starting to round things off here, and this is where the true pinnacle of
These are the big
big
ones.
awards here. And we want to talk about the best beer we had on any episode. Our three nominees are DDH All Green Everything from Other Half, An Abyss of Human Experience from Burial, and Stunner for the Win from Beard.
Nice. Solid beers.
Yeah.
All great beers.
I'm somehow drinking a beer and also wishing I had a beer at the same time.
And then to round out the biggest award of the year, this goes to the brewery that had all the stuff that people wanted. They're the definition of what we consider a complete brewery. And those three breweries that we featured this year on this podcast start off with Burial Brewing. The second is Other Half Brewing. And the third is Southern Grist Brewing Company.
Nice. We had quite some overlap with our best beer, but I mean,
right.
It's not surprising that the best beers come from the best breweries.
No.
Yeah.
And we have to make a caveat to this, of course. These are beers and breweries that we had on the podcast. So
yeah, beers we drank to review and breweries that we went to in 2019.
Right. Yes. So we just want to make that clear so we don't get a bunch of, what about small brewery that you've never heard of? Like, we get it. We'd love to try their beer, so send it to us. And then maybe, who knows? Maybe they'll be in Mr. Oscar 2021.
Yeah, these aren't best beers we've had of all time. These are just, again, stuff we've had in the last year.
That's right. So there you go. Those are the nominees for the.
I'm excited. I think this could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a few other awards that we're going to be giving out as well. So, make sure you pay attention to the episode because it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you're following those Instagram polls. Subscribe to our Patreon for $1 a month, and you get your own ballot and plus some content. I'm actually going to be working on getting something up over the next few weeks. So, keep that in mind, of course. And if there's anything that you want to see on the show, shoot us an email. Let us know if there's any awards that you think should have made the cut. And, we'll probably add them to next year's show.
Yeah, we'll have our, Grammys for the ones that weren't as good. No, Grammys are music.
Yeah.
There's a worse movie version than the Mr. Oscars.
Is that the SAG Awards?
Maybe. We'll have our...
Or the Academy Awards? Is that?
The Academy Awards are the Oscars. That's the same thing.
Okay.
I think it's the SAG Awards.
Yeah.
The Tony Awards.
Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Whatever.
I just have one kind of complaint, though. Do I really need to get my suit dry cleaned? Chris, is this definitely a requirement? I know you were really stressing it, but I just...
Oh, yeah, no. This is a black tie affair.
Okay.
I mean, you don't just... What? You just walk... What were you going to walk a 35-mile red carpet in?
That's a good point. Probably exactly what I'm wearing right now, but...
Or you could go get a really nice fancy dress.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true.
With a deep V.
Yeah.
No, we don't need any. This is a classy affair. We don't need any wardrobe malfunctions.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now that we are closing the Oscar segment until next week, the Mr. Oscar segment until next week, it's time to return to our Frosty Mug of Wisdom, where we recommend things that we all love, or at least enjoy, or at least, deal with. Things we like, we recommend them to you, our listeners, where we each fill up our Frosty mug a third of the way with some of our wisdom. I'm going to hand the mug over to Todd, who is going to fill up the first third.
Yep. So, in honor of the Oscar season this year, I know that this has been mentioned in the past in passing on the pod, but it's never been handled, and I don't think we've really gone into depth of what it actually is. So the app that I'm suggesting for your phone is called Just Watch. What this is it's an app you can download, and then you go in there, kind of like IMDb, and you type in the name of a movie or a TV show or a comedy sketch or whatever you want to watch, and you hit search, and it pops up with that item, and it tells you what streaming services it's available to stream on, whether via free or subscription, or where you can rent it or buy it.
I swear, I feel like we've done this handle before.
I know we've talked about it, but I don't think... I went back. I don't see it as a handle.
Well, if you know, listeners, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible it's a repeat handle. I don't think it is. I know that we've talked about it in passing, but it's definitely worth people going to download, especially during this time during the Oscar season. If you want to see some of these like early 2019 movies that are coming out and being nominated for Best Picture, this is the time where you can go on there and just see, hey, I want to go watch XYZ movie. Where can I watch it? Go download it. It's called Just Watch.
Nice. So what's the last thing that you found to watch using Just Watch?
I went to go see where Tropic Thunder was available to stream today.
That is a classic movie.
It is. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had Robert Downey Jr. on, and I was like, I really just want to go watch Tropic Thunder. And unfortunately, it's not available to stream on anything that I subscribe to. So I'm either going to have to rent it or find ulterior methods of watching it.
Yep, like going to Blockbuster. Now that was
going to Blockbuster.
That was the first movie I ever saw as a college student at the drive-in theater. It was great.
I've never been to that drive-in theater.
Oh my god! All right. Can I take the frosty mug of wisdom?
Sure.
All right. This week I want to recommend the Mansfield Drive In. Now it's not the most timely handle because they cease operation in the winter, but they start up again. I want to say around Memorial Day. They have 3 screens, 2 movies back to back, and the best part is you can bring whatever you want. So I love to go with a cooler full of great beer. I throw some snacks in there. You could even have a little tailgate. It's a great time. And one important tip is I highly recommend bringing a powerful Bluetooth speaker, so you can stream right from your car stereo or a boombox where you can tune into the radio dial, because that's how they transmit the noise of the movie is through a radio frequency. So I've been before, and you bring a big stereo system, bring all your D batteries, and and you really get the prime experience. You bring some lawn chairs, and it's a great time every time.
What if your car has a kick-ass sound system?
Well, okay, this is one thing that I mentioned the lawn chairs and the cooler, but it's more of a tailgating experience that it's best if you can enjoy it without having to rely on your car's audio, because you don't want to be sitting in your car the whole time. You want to be out in the fresh Connecticut summer evening air, hanging out, looking at the stars, sitting out with a sweatshirt and a blanket, and just enjoying a great movie.
So you said it could be Bluetooth, correct?
As long as you have some way to get Bluetooth, like as long as you can get a radio station to your Bluetooth speaker, like if you can get that some way to get to a Bluetooth speaker, then yeah, you can do that.
So you could somehow rig it so you could listen to like the movie through like headphones via your phone, via like a radio frequency app.
Yeah, if you have I don't think iPhones have radio antenna, but I think Androids do, or they used to. So you could definitely use your phone if you have an Android, certain Androids anyway, to listen to it. But you don't want to be listening to headphones the whole time. You want to be there talking with your friends, hanging out. It's a best enjoyed as like a double date night or with a group of people. It's a good group atmosphere. Absolutely.
I'll have to go check it out sometime. Yeah. Just an FYI for the listeners, the drive-through or the Mansfield Marketplace will reopen on March 22nd, 2020, and the movies will restart on April 3rd, 2020.
Oh, wow. Okay, even earlier. I forget how short winters are in Connecticut compared to Montana. But, even if you don't live in Connecticut, I highly recommend going to a drive-in movie theater if you've never been. Keep this handle in your back pocket for 5 months, and then go.
Or if you live in the South like Chris, I mean, there's this possibility that there's some open right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 50 tomorrow, so maybe.
Yeah, you go to your. Well, it's too late now, but so you could have gone to your Super Bowl party at the drive-in. That'd be sweet.
Oh, that'd be kick-ass.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a good trip down memory lane. But let me hand it off to Chris. Chris, why don't you fill up this frosty mug all the way?
All right, so this week I have a workout app, I guess, that I've used for a very long time now. It's, following along that hashtag TudFit lifestyle. and it's called Stronglifts 5x5. And it's a very, very simple workout using free weights where you legitimately just go in and do 3 exercises 3 times a week, and you do 5 sets of 5 reps. And that's it. It's awesome. So, for example, workout A is squats, then bench press, then a bent over row. And then workout B is squats, overhead press, and deadlift. And every time you successfully do a lift or complete all 5 sets, you add 5 pounds to that said workout or
Exercise.
There you go. Thank you.
That's the word.
Yeah, that's the one. So, you go 3 times a week. So in theory, you end up adding like 60 pounds to your squat in a month, and you add 45 pounds to the rest of them.
Yeah, if you're able to complete all the exercises.
Right. Yeah. And it's a strength building. It's a strength building workout. If you follow like a good diet plan as well, it'll help you cut fat. It'll help you, build your cardio. It's a really, really solid workout plan for someone who may have a 2-year-old or something that can only get
hypothetically
can only get to the gym like a couple times a week. When I was younger, when I was really, really dedicated, right now I'm like not, but but I was really, really dedicated about when I met Dana, and I ended up like losing like 80 pounds, and like I could squat 1,000,000 pounds. It was awesome. It was just
basically
so great. It was the best.
The time in your life you were trying to look your sexiest.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
I did, and then I got married, and then that happened.
Yeah.
So. But it's a
Dana.
really good workout if you're looking to add muscle mass. If you're looking, to just get out there and you don't have a ton of time, I highly recommend it. There's an app for it. It does everything for you. You just have to like let it go and follow what it says. So there you go. Stronglifts 5x5.
Yeah, and I will personally endorse this and say there was a brief period of my life where I was workout buddies with Chris at the gym, and he introduced me to this app. And just coming in as a newcomer without any gym experience or any free weight experience, it was a great app. And if you were like me and you're like hesitant and you don't really know how to approach the whole free weight situation at the gym, this was a really great introduction. So I think as Chris is the master and me as the Padawan, I think both of us have approached it from different sides and really enjoyed the app.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't do free weights and stuff like that, there's a bunch of like videos built in to like show you how to properly do the exercises. And he even urges you, his name's Mehdi. He's like the guy that created it years and years ago, but he urges you to like start with an empty bar. Like start as light as you can. Like he says, who cares what other people think in the gym? Like just start with an empty bar because weight will come. And, even someone who's been doing it for as long as when I go back and I start with a really low weight, because I'm like, I'll be super sore and destroy my muscles and won't be able to walk if I go too heavy.
You don't want to hurt yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, but anyways, it's a really awesome app if you're looking to get into, trying that hashtag TudFit lifestyle.
That is the best type of lifestyle.
Does the hashtag TudFit mean buying no more beer for the rest of the year?
No, not that.
Okay.
It was part of it.
No.
Gotta get this Tud into fighting shape.
Yeah.
And so with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. We'd like to thank the breweries who provided today's beers. I will go first with, unfortunately, thanking Three Floyds for their Alpha Claus Christmas Porter.
I'd like to thank North Coast Brewing Company for their Old Rasputin.
And I want to thank Kettle House Brewing Co. for shady New England style IPA.
Please make sure you head over to social media and follow us at DAWF Podcast. That's Twitter, Untapped, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also, make sure you follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on the nominations for this year. Did we miss any categories? Is there anything that that you'd like to see next year for Mr. Oscars 2021? Let us know. Other than that, still, just send us your general thoughts and all that. Obert loves to read that type of stuff. Make sure you're heading over to iTunes and giving us a 5-star rating and leaving a comment. You have no idea how much that helps people find our show. Also, make sure that you are going on to all social medias, every day, and we post every single day. So make sure you're sharing that with your friends and family and letting them know about our podcast. Also, make sure you head over to Patreon, especially if you want a singular vote in the Mr. Oscars 2020 voting process. Head over there and subscribe for as little as $1 a month. You get to choose who wins these awards.
Your vote could make the difference.
It could very well make the difference. You just don't want a whole bunch of random people that you don't know to make the decisions. You want to be part of that choice.
That's right.
So with that, my name's Ted.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
How quickly do you guys think we can run this 35-mile
I'm taking the whole week.
red carpet?
I'm doing 5 miles a day. I'm not going to mess around.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Just
What
camp
about
out.
you, Todd? Are you ready?
I'm going to do it in one day.
Okay. Just think of all of those 49ers that you're going to go fast.
Or the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, my money's on the Niners, but
I'd like to see Andy Reid get his championship. This can't be in the podcast, but, well, maybe it could be.
who cares?
True. I'd like to see Andy Reid get his ring, but at the same time, I really don't want to hear about how great Patrick Mahomes is for the rest of forever.
Yeah.
But then Jimmy Garoppolo could win his 3rd ring.
Yeah. How about that? Goat. That's what the G stands for.
Garoppolo.
Jimmy Goat.